What's good guys, welcome to the video, and as you can see from the title of this video, today I'm going to talk about everything I've learned and everything I've overcome in my 5-year semen retention journey. A little disclaimer, I don't mean I've been on semen retention straight for 5 years, but I've come into contact with this practice 5 years ago, and ever since then, I've changed. I've changed as a man. I struggled with things back in the day I can no longer imagine, and I'm truly convinced that semen retention is the main driver of all that progression. By the way guys, if you want to have the opportunity to work with me, make sure to watch the video until the end because I have a special offer you might be interested in. And next to that, if you like this type of content, subscribe, like the video, and feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's all in the description link down below. Let's hop into it. So at 20 years old, literally the day I turned 20, I decided then and there that I was never gonna watch a dirty video ever again, and from there on I also got introduced to NoFap. And the reason I got very much interested in that is because I was suffering from crippling social anxiety. Whenever I was in a group with more than 4 to 5 people, I would shut down. I would not be able to speak, I would not be able to express myself, and next to that I would have crippling anxiety around women. When I turned 20, I was smoking a big joint, right? Because guess what? Back in the day, I also had a lot of bad habits. I don't do any of those things anymore, but when I was 20, I smoked a big joint. Now what happened is that I lived in a big house with a lot of students, right? A lot of English girls, I remember as well. And me and my friend, because I was just with my friend, we were in the garden of the house. We made a fire, you know, it was my birthday. We really didn't know a lot of people there. And then a group of like 10 girls, right? They all came and I was super high. I was with my friend, I was super stoned, and they just sat there and they started talking to us. And the anxiety got so bad because obviously it was everything at once. First of all, I smoked weed, which makes anxiety a lot worse. It was a big group and it was only girls. It was so bad that I had to leave. I had to go to my room and I had to go to sleep. I even have a picture of that moment because I wanted to capture it, because at that moment I realized, man, I really need to tackle this because this is messing my life up. And at that moment as well, I discovered NoFap and I saw all the benefits it could give you. But the main thing was to quit porn when it came down to NoFap. So that's exactly what I did, and to be honest, it was quite an easy journey when it came down to quitting porn, because the way I've always quit these habits is to just say I'm never gonna do it ever again. And I would change my self-image accordingly, because at quite a young age I started to understand from reading a lot of books how to change your self-image. And if your self-image is not matching the person you want to be, it's not gonna work. So here's a little example, right? For your whole life you've been unfit, right? You've always taught yourself exercise is not for me, and now out of nowhere you want to go and exercise. What you will see that a lot of times after a few months you're gonna be drawn back into your self-image, into the non-exercise self. That is because you are still not seeing yourself as someone that is exercising and is very healthy. So if you truly want to change yourself, you need to change your self-image. So when you go to the gym, you also need to visualize and see yourself as this new person. You need to act as if, right? And after a while, this new self-image is going to become the new you. But in the beginning, that's going to be very uncomfortable. But as the years went by, because I was on this practice, and I truly believe semen retention is the main driver for everything. Because at a certain point, I switched to, you know what, I'm no longer doing NoFap. NoFap is still associated with, you can just have sex with everyone, as long as you know FAP, right? But then I really started to get into semen retention, and I started to understand the power of your own sexual energy. And that's where I truly started to change. So for the first time in my life, I actually got up to a 5-month streak. I was about 21 years old. And in that time, in that period, I went through a spiritual awakening. Now to summarize this experience, basically what happened is that all my old emotions from years and years, from childhood, they all came up to the surface, and I started to understand all the things I was doing in order to numb myself, right? I was just walking away from the pain, and semen retention showed me all the pain I needed to face to become a better individual, to become more mature. And in this period as well, I started to see and I started to understand that my social anxiety was nothing more than a program from my mind. All it was an old program that was trying to keep me safe. And this is actually the time where I truly started to overcome this anxiety. Because what I did and what I realized is that, okay, you know, my body is just triggering this anxiety whenever I get into a certain situation, but it makes no rational sense. It's just something the body does, right? When you see a bear, what's going to happen to your body? You're going to feel fear. But my mind has been programmed in such a way that whether I'm in a social situation or I'm talking to a girl, it also thinks I'm in danger. So I realized I had to pre-program my mind to understand that it's not in danger. And the way I did this is by consciously going out there, going out into the world and actually doing the exact things that would trigger the social anxiety. So what I would do is I would just start up with a hi, asking the time, and I would move up from there. And after a few years, I was literally able to just go up to a woman in the park, have a little chat, whatever, right? It was gone. I teach my brain it was fine. In reality, it's not natural to be socially anxious. It's just a fear-based program from your mind. Over the past 5 years, as I told you guys, I've been on this semen retention journey, and what it has done for me, it has given me the mental clarity to understand all the things that were no longer serving me in my life, and I've gotten rid of every single bad addiction or every single bad habit. I no longer smoke. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to smoke joints. I used to snort lines. Yes, I even used to snort lines. I used to do drugs. I used to vape. I used to watch pornography. I used to eat like shit. I used to do everything. And I've gotten rid of all those things. Semen retention has been the engine behind everything I've done, right? So if you want to attack a fear and you're on semen retention, it's going to happen times 10, right? Because if you're not even going to have the energy and the confidence to go out there and attack this fear. Or maybe you want to build up your dream body. You're not going to have the energy to do so. Maybe you can still achieve it, but it's going to be 10 times harder to do so. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. So guys, if you want to work with me and tackle your problems, I've just started a masculine energy program. In this program, you're gonna learn everything from quitting porn, mastering your sexual energy, understanding how to build your dream body, and getting rid and overcoming your social anxiety when it comes down to speaking to women. In this program, you're gonna have access to me by weekly video calls where you can ask all your questions regarding these types of topics. Next to that, what you're gonna be getting is a step-by-step blueprint on how to overcome all these problems. Over the past 3 years, I've helped dozens of other men achieve the same things, and next to that, you're gonna have access to a community of like-minded men that are also on the same journey. For the first 10 people that will join this program, it will only be a €97 one-time payment to be part of this experience. So if you want to join, hurry up because the spots are gonna fill up very quickly. Click the link in the description down below and join the program, and I'll see you there.